Spring. For the Southerners, the warm weather that follows the winter months is a reprieve. But to those from Novir and Byros, this particularly warm spring day was abysmally muggy and warm, not to mention filled with mosquitoes and other irritating things that dare not enter the lands to the north. Here on the River Osira in central Alosir, a barge floats lazily. Upon it, 4 Notaries do their best to pass the time observing the alien southern landscapes. Sir, that's why I believe the South holds great potential for us, speaks the elder dwarf man, busy patching a hole in his soot-stained overcoat. From the aft of the barge, a young woman of Byrosian descent offers, "That is, if we ever come to a dock that isn't swarming with soldiers." At the starboard side, a muscular man gruffly scoffs in agreement. Makari, would you like to describe yourself?
Of course. So Makari is a pretty average height, although he appears, whenever you're near him, he seems to tower over you. Even though if you stood people next to him, they would be about exactly the same height. He is very tan, almost copper skin, with golden hair that cascades down the back, and he has bright, blazing gold eyes that seem to like flicker like torchlight, and covering his face is a completely featureless blank iron mask. There's no mouth hole, just 2 eye holes and a small like extrusion for a nose.
I forgot you were Amon.
It is it is attached to his head with a leather strap that goes underneath his hair, and he has armor that goes like that makes him look twice as wide as he actually is. It's made of this burnished orangish material. There are these wax seals pressed onto the armor with bits of parchment scrolling off of them. He has a hammer that is basically a stick with a rock tied to the end of it, hanging at his belt, and is like lounging off with one foot that has this metallic brace around it, propped up on a crate with a big stick, a metal capped stick in one hand, and he's leaning back and he says, "So, south it is then."
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
Terrified.
Archibald, one of your retainers, the elderly dwarf man, says, "We will find help in the south. And, as you say, reclaim what is yours."
Of course. The Tsar will pay.
Haru, from the back, says lazily, "How much longer until we're wherever the fuck we're going?"
Haru, the language. Has Archibald taught nothing?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Archie. Sorry, Makari. When will we be there?
Much better. Archibald, when? Or, sorry, then.
Archibald pulls out a large map, and you see Boris just with his, like the, what's that Italian city? What am
Venice? A gondola?
Venice. Yeah,
Gondola.
like the gondola dudes in Venice. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for understanding me. Just poking at the bottom of the River Osira. And the River Osira is super deep. This is the largest river in Alosir, and it runs the length of the continent, so 12,000 kilometers. Archibald, whoa, he says, looking at the map, kind of twisting it around, "Well, we have very little knowledge of the southern lands, but we know that a big, large city called Neiris is coming up. Big university and army Powerful people. We
Mm.
will find the people we need in this city.
Very good.
Haru has her feet up on the side and is just chuckling to herself, as she often does, about you and Archibald. You spend the rest of the day. Oh, there you are on the map. Not Boris. Fucking Archibald shows you where you guys are at approximately, and says, "We will be there approximately 1 day's time.
Damn.
We will need to stop on shore, as we have done every night since leaving."
Yes.
Living. Yes. I could
Oh.
talk to you in this accent forever, friend.
I would hope so.
So,
You were born with it.
Novir, strong, and slams her fist. And, oh,
This is never gonna get old.
Strong.
strong, Novir, strong. He will make your family proud of us.
No doubt.
And Haru says, "Yes, and hopefully we're far enough away from those assholes who lit everything on fire." And Archibald just glares at her. "Language!" Haru, and she says, "That's Karami to you." He says, So you spend the rest of the day. Is there anything you want to do as this day passes? You have spent approximately 3 weeks on the river since leaving Dalsfjord, and about 4 weeks since leaving, since you got on the barge. I mean, before that.
So it's
couple months.
just us four on the barge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You'll need to stop on the beach at night to camp, as
Yeah.
you've done. And you guys take watches, and there are enough of you. It's fine.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll just recline and keep my foot up and keep scanning the shore
Mm-hmm.
and
Make
say-
a perception check.
All right.
But go ahead.
I will do the perception check first.
All right. Keep going. You see the massive forest of the Bobonair Wilds. Not that you know what it's called. You know that you are in the country Feldar.
Yep.
You're in East Feldar, and beyond that, Archibald doesn't spend too much time lecturing you over the southern countries, because to the northerners, especially as you are from the most northern settlements in Novir, the south is kind of trivial. Like, that's where you winter. So, yeah. Or where your
We
parents were.
bask in their ruins.
So what were you gonna say? As you're just
Uh,
looking around.
Archibald,
Yes.
what are the chances of genealogist?
Realistically, slim to okay odds. Do not know very optimistic, but I don't know why I'm speaking like broken English with him.
I was skipping articles as common, but
Yeah, you guys are, well, you're speaking Noverese probably
Yeah.
right now. And he says, there could be scholars. There is a large university there, I have heard. Whilst we were in Dalsfjord, my niece, may she rest in the greatest halls of Elysium, told me of a university in Neris. A great many scholars, so perhaps genealogist lives there. Yes.
we will check.
Yes, we will check. 2 days, be at Berin Bridge, and we travel from this country to that country, cross into Adestia, where this king is in charge. Do not know. Sounds like beach.
That is right.
Anyway, I love him. He's now my favorite.
It worked twice. Beach and beach.
We
So-
look for genealogists in university.
Yes. 2 days,
2 days.
then we leave.
Yes.
In and out.
In, out. Where shall we go then?
We will research.
Ah. Wonderful.
Get
And,
right on it.
Boris offers a begrudging kind of snort as you say research and just keeps
Thank you, Boris.
so long.
Contribution noted.
Okay, so you pass the end of the day, and there, as you are heading towards night, loud, but I like this song. As you are ending the day, you see a nice little inlet in the river, and you do see other boats like going up the stream, and some like faster boats passing you by as you're just kind of in a barge. And you see a few small like rocks on this beach, so good enough for cover for your campsite. And Archibald says, "We will stop here for the night, Boris. You know the drill." And Boris says, and takes you over to the inlet. As you disembark, you pull the barge up onto the shore high enough so that high tide won't pull it back, and you see what you mistook for a patch of rocks. I mean, there are large rocks around, but a small patch of rocks appears to be a humanoid individual, face down in the sand.
Great. We have company.
Boris says, "Do not worry. I will send Haru over to investigate." She says, "It's Karami to you, fool," and passes him, deftly hops off the barge, and then pokes at the body with her foot. There's no movement for a moment. And then, Trixton, you hear in your ears, "It's time to wake up." And your eyes flash open. You're coughing sand out of your mouth, having essentially passed out from heat exhaustion in this southern heat on the banks of this river. You awaken, not sure what day it is, and there is a foot tapping your side. You hear a voice in some language, and Makari, you hear, "I think you might be dead."
What a tragedy.
Boris says, "Food."
No, Boris.
I wasn't expecting that.
This is not nowhere anymore.
She crouches like like a Russian.
Squat.
Am I being Slav squatted on?
Not on top of you, just next to you. She's like,
We really have to get you a tracksuit, Haru.
You come to Trixton,
What an
slowly getting
introduction.
your bearings. Would you like to describe yourself?
Sure. Trixton would appear. I guess he'd probably have his bag with him. You'd probably first see like a mop of curls that the tips of his ears might just stick out, expressing his half-elven heritage. He's got like, I guess, blonde, messy blonde brown hair, and as he wakes up, you'd probably see his face, dark eyes, somewhat sharp features. You'd probably visibly from Vyros to some extent. I don't know. Blue shirt over just some like simple leather armor that's poking out from under it where the shirt got all torn up from whatever just happened.
Yeah, it's been, and yeah, you do remember like months of traveling. Like you had a small canoe that you were paddling down the Osira River that crashed. You stopped in Harmonies for a while to restock and then crossed the river again, and then you passed out on the shore just of heat exhaustion on a warm day. And yeah, Makar, you do recognize that this individual does look Byrosian.
Does Haru look Noviran as I wake up?
No.
As you wake up, look up, you see a woman who looks clearly Byrosian. She, although she might be a little paler than typical Byrosians, she has typical features: brown hair, beautiful, seemingly human woman. Although when she smiles, you see one of her canines is a little sharper than usual. She says, "Oh, he is awake," she says in common now.
Oh, really?
Probably.
And no, what were you saying?
I was just gonna, as I kind of wake up and go, in Byrosian, probably.
Yeah.
Didn't expect a familiar a friendly face down here. Thank you for waking me up.
In Byrosian, in turn, she says, "I did not expect to see someone from Byros so far south. My name is Karami Haru."
I am Trigston.
Trixt. Well met. This is now in common Makari Mikhailov. Pointing to Makari, the man with the mask. Archibald, the elderly dwarven man with a cane, and Boris, who is a gruff, muscular Noviran male with jet black hair, who just has his arms crossed, staring at you.
See, you sent the friendly one out first. In common.
She looks back at you guys and says, "Told you I was the friendly one."
Haru, how many times do I have to say? When you say family name, if you say family name, Mikarov, power, but not too loud.
Oh, sorry. Mikhailov.
It will take some work.
Archibald and Boris go and take all the supplies off of the barge. You set up your camp. Archibald, at this point in common, says, "So, new friend, Trigster. Hey, buddy. Hey, high fives, McClure.
Oh no.
What brings you so far south?" As he's building a fire.
Looking for information in Neris.
Ah,
In Neris.
so are
What
we.
coincidence! Hey.
I don't suppose you'd accept another member on your journey.
Well, it depends. Are you rich?
No, wait, Makari. I will handle this. Sir,
Go for it.
are you rich?
My personal wealth is somewhat diminished at the moment, but
Do you possess great power? The old dwarf
We
man.
don't mean political power. We hate political power.
Right.
once again, personal is of doubtable, though a bit of a mystery at the moment.
Are
is
you
really
member of
juggling?
Dynasty?
Oh, Dynasty, yes.
Oh, he's
Member of
asked
house,
Archibald.
Yes.
Yes?
I'm of the noble
Oh.
house. What the fuck is my name?
Oh.
Into family.
Of noble house Leithvelder.
Oh.
This is a problem.
He pulls you aside. All right. We need to discuss the possibility that we need to kill Trigster.
I would agree.
I think
I can.
more merrier for this. Oh, He switches to Byrosian. Or Novarese. He switches to Novarese. I think we need to keep him close for a moment. See how useful he may be.
Cross observation.
Yes.
For what it's worth, I'm not here in any official capacity. I'm
They never
very
are.
distant. I'm very distant, both personally and physical distance from my political power.
Disgraced? You
No,
say?
just- not as such, no.
Oh.
Korami
Illegitimate?
turns to Makari
Not
and
that I'm
says,
aware.
the Winter families, as he says he's a part of, they do not hold much power at all, really. The Shogun appoints friends, but the Fuyukai, these Winter families, they are just special people. No power associated.
So, enemy of state?
Maybe yours. I'm not exactly sure at the moment. Don't believe so.
Oh. Shame. Would be much better if you were.
I take it you're not on familiar terms with your state?
The Noveries state, what say, sucks.
Archibald just grumbled as he's cooking some cod over the fire. He tosses a mushroom into a pot.
Yes, Archibald agrees.
Well, then we may get along. I don't think I have any friends among the Noveries.
So, you hate Noveries state, yes?
If you'll get me on the ship, I can hate the Noveries state.
Good! Welcome! What
do you guys
was
wanna do anything?
my family
Go,
name?
go.
Mikirov.
Okay, never say it again.
I can do that.
Good. We are not welcome abroad or domestic
We're not welcome.
or anywhere really.
It's not welcome.
Okay. What do you guys do anything that evening?
I will, as is custom, share with him some of our alcohol to greet him to our camp. It's like
Vodka?
fermented milk of a sort.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It kind of tastes like sparkling water.
Nice. I need to remember to think of a name for it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a real thing, but yeah, we can come up with a world name for it.
Yes.
And I'll give you a little bowl of it and be like, traditional Noveries greeting.
Is it milky? Does it look like alcohol? Or does it look
Yeah,
like...
no, it looks like milk. Like it's
Okay.
opaque white, but it's
Oh, it's like,
fermented.
It's like
Forrest is
unfiltered
like
sake.
sitting forward on his log, just kind of watching him.
Is
That's
it
what I'm imagining unfiltered sake, yeah.
That's what. Yeah, if it's anything like that, it'd probably go down quick.
Very good.
Drop it.
Yeah, you pound it, and it is similar to like sake from Byros. It hits you right in the chest, but you get it down.
That's good.
Good.
Forrest claps you on the shoulder.
Welcome to camp.
I am nervous, but excited. Honestly, just nervous. This guy's terrifying.
Common reaction. I have not taken off the iron mask. It is still.
Yeah.
So I can't see the terrifying smile clearly going.
You
You
can
just
see
see the
the
gold
you can see the
eyes.
flickering gold eyes though.
Meanwhile, oh, I need that sound effect in this.
No.
There's a camp south of the Bobonair Wilds, traveling eastwards, and that's where Felix finds himself. Felix, you are in the company of a certain Professor Thyros Nadier, as well as a famous theater troupe of the Soaring Sisters, who you know are heading to Neyris to perform at the House of Lilac. There are also a few beggars who are tired, and I quote, of the meager Feldaran profits and want the real money in Adestia. And your little caravan has been traveling eastwards. Let me see from where. From Desroven, set off from Desroven, probably a month ago. So you've gotten to know these people pretty well, and now you and the professor are kind of off to your own little fire, just kind of chatting about studious things because the others aren't necessarily of the same pedigree that you guys are. Oh, let me show yourself.
Oh wow.
Actually, you're probably like here.
Yep. Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
So, Felix, the professor kind of is cleaning his glasses on a rag. I heard there's a few new professors coming to Neyris this semester. I do hope you grow to like them. I've met a couple of them, and they're very amiable.
Oh, should I describe my character first? Or should
Oh
I-
yeah, what do you look like?
Yeah, let me do that. Felix Sartino is a young human male, about average height, probably the same height as Macarai, with
Everyone is.
short jet black hair groomed towards the back of his head, with forest green eyes and light skin. He's wearing somewhat formal but not too flashy clothes, since he knows better. Some scale mail, as he knows to never travel unprepared, under a dark blue blazer and gray shirt with black trousers and shoes. He has a fairly large leather and cloth rucksack strapped to his back, very used looking, with a light crossbow on his left hip, a folded up, heavy looking leather wrapped pipe on his right hip, and a signet ring on his right ring finger. Sometimes he is sometimes he is fidgeting with a small piece of rope hanging from his rucksack, and his eyes seem to dart back and forth, almost as if he's reading something invisible in front of him. And that's it.
Gotcha.
And what did the professor say? Sorry.
Just talking about how there are some new professors coming. So
Oh.
they're amiable, and he won't be the only new person.
Well, that is good to hear. Are any of them engineering professors?
I do not think so, though our engineering faculty have been with the university for many, many decades.
Oh, so the experience. Good, good.
Oh, in fact, I believe some of. Oh, I slipped back into Archibald. It's so hard. One of the grand architects in Harmonies teaches in Neyris, an elven man. I'm sure you'll be one of his students.
Do you know his name?
It slips my mind at the moment. I apologize.
That's alright, I'll find out soon enough, I guess. Can't wait.
Of course. Very excited to introduce you to everyone. Meanwhile, the next morning, barge team, you set off southwards towards the Bayreen Bridge. And this bridge, connects Feldar to Neyris, and there's very notorious. It's a very notorious checkpoint for people immigrating or doing trade. Though you know that Adestia keeps really good records, and anyone who's not on record is seen as a potential criminal. So,
Potential criminal.
you guys travel southwards on your barge?
Yas.
Okay. The travel is fairly easy, and By the end of the day, you see the bridge in tow, and Felix, your caravan also sees the bridge. When eventually the barge people get there first to this bridge, and you see two large towers that are right before this massive bridge. I mean, like, longer than Golden Gate Bridge length. It's huge, crossing the Osira River. And there are guards out front with the colors of the Adestian royal family, which, ask me again later. I'll find it, but it'll take me too long. And they have like long halberds, and they're just waiting there. There are a few. There's one man with a ledger who's just kind of waiting in a guardhouse, and you guys pull your barge up. What do you do?
So, Trigster, are you a criminal?
I don't think so.
Potential criminal?
Depends on who exactly I've pissed off.
Okay, that's not a good answer.
Oh god, I'm not supposed to
We
do that.
we will be at checkpoint. I expect you to lie about being potential criminal. Obviously.
Well, I'm not a legal criminal.
What? What does that mean?
I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
Okay, well,
But I
checkpoint
will let
time.
you know. I don't think the checkpoint will cause us any trouble.
Hell!
Well, good sir. What brings you to the Barine Bridge this evening?
I want to enter Neris.
Right, most people do. One moment. It's looks at his bare wrist. It's a little late. Oh, switch my accent. It's a little late. So, one moment, and goes over to the person with the ledger, and there's a lot of, like, gesticulating, and then, after a few minutes, he comes back and says, all right, look, and he, like, takes his helmet off and puts it under his arm, and you see kind of a peach fuzz, clean-shaven young man. He says, unfortunately, it's a little late, and we're not allowed to let people over the bridge at this point. But if you wait, in the
No
morning,
problem. We go
you'll be
on the
first.
bridge.
No, that's not allowed either.
Why not?
Well, we have a system here, and if you break the system, they don't take kindly to that.
They only not take kindly if they find out.
Oh, right. We've there's. Have you ever been to Adestia before?
What? Is that where we are?
Yes, it is Adestia. Let me, master, let me handle.
Of course.
Look.
Give
young-
them her Archibald.
Young, tall person, I need you to understand we are in great hurry to find Smarty Party. Do you understand? And the young man goes, right, no, but we have... Adestia has been rolling out these the changes with how they keep track of who's in the country, and we can't let you in until morning. I'm sorry.
Okay, so how about you let us in?
No. Well, no, not right now, but in the morning.
No. That's not what I said.
At this point, Felix, you and your troop trudges up to the bridge. You see a few individuals having a conversation with a guard, and another guard is walking up, and he says, "Hey, what seems to be the problem here?" And he says, "Oh, well, they want to get in, but it's too late, see?" And he says, "Oh, right. Unfortunately, masters, it's a bit too late for that. And he says, see, that's what I said.
Okay, but what if it wasn't?
No, sorry, you gotta wait till morning.
What counts as morning?
I'm about to bust out there
Dawn.
at 5 o'clock somewhere.
Dawn, usually.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Well,
With
according
light.
to Berosian scholar, day starts midnight.
All right, well, this is Adestia.
Okay, well, Adestia scientist stupid. Yes?
No. Why are you coming to meet smart people if you don't think the scientists are smart?
The scientist you know. Dumb. Scientist I know.
Oh, all right. He looks at the other guard and he says, no, don't let him know. And he says, oh, right.
What?
Not till morning. I'm sorry. And at this point, a bespectacled Feldarin man walks up, the professor, walks up to this group and says, what seems to be the problem here? The guard says, well, unfortunately, we can't let you in until morning. We've implemented new magical security measures to make sure that no unsavory folks come into the country. New orders from the king, unfortunately.
No, I'm not magical.
Right, but even if you, it doesn't matter. We keep track of people magically. That's
say
how.
magical security.
Well, no. I mean, a magical help. And he says, right. All right. Sorry, that was a little too bubbly. Here's the thing. Go to bed. We'll wake you up in the morning. Get you over to Nairis. Bit bop. You're off to Adestia. How about that? First in line, this man right here.
No.
All right.
I thought
That's
that stand
of
why you
my
can't
pay
just wait
grade.
until morning.
You
No.
see a Feldarin man.
Just entertained.
All right, sir.
Listen, how about you arrest us put us in prison in the city for the night? Yes? We are very misbehaving.
As part of our new security measures, we're not allowed to take prisoners anymore.
Oh, are you?
No, it's sort of stab on sight.
Oh, that seems unethical.
Right. Well, I said the other thing. Jonathan thinks it's a good idea. I don't really like it, but orders are orders, and I'm working towards a knighthood. I'm still an errant, and I don't really know where I'm headed afterwards. Maybe a minor court. So I really have to make sure I'm appeasing the local authorities. If I don't, who knows? I could end up in a slum somewhere, or being a guard for some scholar or something. No offense, sir. And he says, "Oh, none taken." I just have to make sure that I'm watching out for myself and my kids in the future when I have them meet the right woman. You have to meet the right woman. Or man, of course. Or whatever.
If you have
anyone.
them.
Right, if I have them.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No,
all right, I'll see you in the morning.
Not compliment.
Okay. Bars lower on the bridge.
This is garbage.
Do not like this at all, but it looks like hands are tied, Makari.
We were here before.
How tall gate?
Looks like 20 feet. Approximately 8 meters.
That is 10 feet
Oh, man.
too high.
Yes. 15 for Archibald.
Well,
Oh my god.
this is problem. What if they catch up in the night?
Catch up.
Oh yes, the arsonists.
Not favorite condiment. Usually prefer mayonnaise or relish.
The,
If If
What
catch
are
up,
you saying, Archibald?
if they catch up, we make do.
Does Felix know
Archibald,
what they're talking about?
Holy-
You
arsonists or
buffoon!
anything?
Are they in Novarese right now, or is this common?
We
No,
like
that-
slip
oh, yeah.
in and out, like half the words
Yeah,
are in
it's,
common.
it's kind of both, yeah.
I think I caught
Um,
arsonists in there.
Felix, both of you heard arsonists, yeah.
Okay. Arsonist? What arsonist?
As someone loosely associated with you, should I be concerned about being in a conflagration by the morning?
Yeah,
Yes.
Also, I'm uncomfortable with this.
Oh, yes, you should worry too.
Oh, I don't know if this
We should all be worried.
Oh no.
Which is. Oh no!
Oh no.
I want spicy meatball!
Mamma mia.
Which is why you will help us break in.
Wait, me? What?
Yes.
Why me?
Well,
The other options being.
do you want arson?
No, but I mean,
So, how do we get in?
It said it was magical.
why are we
No.
worried about arsonists if we're near a river? Wait a second.
You
plan
idiot.
on sleeping in the river.
Exactly.
How many arsonists are
You
we
could-
talking?
Wait, we could take boat south. Approach Nereis from behind.
Oh,
Plan.
That was
it's
a
the
long
old
time.
behind trick, Archibald, you old dog.
This is fun.
So we take.
just like shakes her head.
So we take Neris from the back.
How long is this going to... How long
knew
is
it
this
was
going
gonna
to
get
take?
there.
Because I'm supposed to be enrolling in classes in Elise in the fall.
Archibald pulls out this map and points at it and says, if you go down Osira River to mountains. See mountains? Mountains. And there are
Yes.
large mountains across the river. Through mountains, make way. I am from mountains, I know. We can navigate
Yes,
it.
so
Okay.
am I.
Cross river into Adestia. A barrel run into Nereis from behind.
And how long will
Then-
that take?
Since they can't check our papers.
Would it not be simpler to wait for dawn, like quicker?
Listen here,
Backhand you.
Trigster,
Idiot!
idiots. We cannot let
If you're in
them
a
know
hurry-
the family name. The arsonists, you see, they burn me down.
He cannot have record of entering.
I was gonna say you look fairly uncharred, but
Oh,
The professor's setting up his tent, by the way.
I am the one who chars.
I am the one who knows.
So they were targeting your family?
Well,
Knows.
I guess you could say that.
Huh. Yeah,
Well-
but-
Now you are target.
Great.
Good luck enrolling in class when class is on fire.
I guess that's a good point. Fine, I guess we just go around the mountains then.
Well,
Would it? This cannot be at all.
Is that
yes,
is that- is that
Trigster.
the professor?
What do you have to contribute?
So, are we on this little peninsula between the two rivers right now? Is that like, we're over on the left side in the forest?
You're in
Yeah,
Feldar.
right
You're
here.
like on the edge of the forest.
Yeah.
Would it not be simpler to hide in the forest and come back in the
Idiot. Forest is flammable.
I was about to say.
dawn?
You know, I think he has a point, Kurami says. That would make the most sense.
Rock is not flammable.
I mean, if the fire is hot enough.
Your technicalities bore me.
She just looks down. This is the man who signs my
technicality-
paycheck.
oh,
I do not
You-
sign them them anymore.
Do you count them to make sure?
W2 burned in a state fire. No record of employment.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not
that's going
employed.
to be on my ass.
To the mountains.
Fine.
You come too?
I guess. It's
Wait, you know university.
I mean, I know of it. I've never actually been there.
Ugh.
I know where it is.
Oh, God.
But the professor here knows the university.
Take him with us.
Okay.
He show us genealogist.
All right.
Sir,
Yes, my friend.
pack bags.
Amigo, I do not understand why. We are waiting until morning, it is alright.
We go to mountain. This faster and safer from arsonists.
It is day. To Neris this way, my friend. Through mountains, it'll take you a month. This is
Month.
faster. And what's the hurry anyway? He tends to his fire, pokes at it, and a sizable flame has erupted.
Sir, if we are
Archibald is
burned
staring
down
at the
by
flame.
arsonists, then I blame you.
What an odd thing to worry about, friend.
I have decided we
Oh.
camp here. Boris, get to
Archibald
it.
immediately drops everything. Boris starts hammering stakes into the ground. In 5 to 10 minutes, your small camp is set up.
Join us at our fire, Professor, and tell me about university.
He
Kind
of props himself
too,
up on the
actually.
log. After a few moments of just tending to the flames, making a meal, the professor, who introduces himself as something that I totally forgot about, Adrian, help me, Thyros Nadia,
Not yet. Yep.
yeah, says, this, the university, whose name I'm now forgetting,
Grand Pelford University.
the Grand Pelford University.
The
I am
grand
a-
what? What?
Pelford University. I am a professor of ancient Solarian in Novaries. It's, and he says ancient Solarian in Novaries.
Wow. Thank you.
I am linguist for the university, my friend.
Linguist.
Yes, and many professors from all over the world teach there. It is very prestigious, and we are opening a new program in arcane engineering, and Felix, and taps him on the back, is coming to matriculate.
What?
Enroll, my friend. And he offers you some cod.
The fishy it is.
Get caught.
Interesting.
Lot of cod.
It swim with current. Weak. Strong fish swim against current. Leap into air. Up waterfall. Oh, disgrace.
Just nods, staring at the flames. Are you coming to enroll as well, amigo?
No.
Oh, a man of few words. I can respect that.
No, I was just thinking of
Oh,
words.
right. Of course.
Research.
Wonderful. Well, that is the place to do it. If you don't want to travel all the way down to Velianor, that is.
What? Where do you know?
On the southern border of Alosir. It is a large city. There is a sizable university there as well. And the capital, of course, has one.
Is it better?
Comparable.
Never mind. We wait.
Alright, so you pass the night having idle chatter. And in the morning, you are all woken up by sounds of shouting. You hear the Adestian guard from last night saying, "Hey, open your bag!" And you open your eyes, get up, kind of get your bearings, and you see one of the like beggars that had traveled with you, Felix, is like holding something back and like standing up, and the guard is staring at him, like pointing his halberd at him. Excuse me. He says, "Open your bag, please. I don't want to do this. I want to let you into Adestia.
Armor now."
Oh yes.
What is happening?
Go on me. And they place your armor. They quickly don all your armor.
Arsonist has infiltrated the beggars.
Oh no.
The bag
you
contains
see-
explosives.
You see this man. He with his arm in his bag says something under his breath, and you watch as there's a movement of energy behind this soldier, and his shadow leaps up, massive, like 10 feet in diameter, with claws outstretched towards the guard. The guard doesn't even realize it as his throat is ripped open by his own shadow. The other,
Not
the other,
What?
Not bomb.
What?
you see
And
this
you were worried
man.
about arsonists.
Make a perception check, Makari, Trickster, and Felix.
Well,
Perception. Oh, that's.
I'm good at that. My passive perception is 21. Does that count for anything?
Oh yes, it does. That does count. You see on these individuals, they all have a as they cast through the air, a sigil appears, and it matches you. Especially see this Trigston. I don't even remember what the fuck your name is.
Trigster.
Trigston, yeah. Matches a small pin of a. Let me make sure I get this right. An upside down crow weeping purple tears upwards. The sigil they cast in the air mirrors that before these shadows spring to life, and as more guards are approaching, all of your retainers are like striking camp, getting ready to move, and Boris is hoofing it towards the barge. You
Get
see
ready,
shadows
everyone.
everyone, let's roll some initiative.
Oh god.
Hey, first fight. Go, go, go. You're gonna do great. Got this.
What'd you say that sigil was? It was like a purple-
It's an upside down crow weeping purple tears upwards. The barge is over here, by the way. On the beach.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, where? Hang on, sorry.
Up here. Hold
Oh,
on.
up here.
to the north.
Here. Yep.
Okay.
Over real north. Why am I in front? I don't want to be in front.
Oh, flashback. I did a little ritual with my hammer that I'll describe later to enhance my
Okay.
armor.
Okay. Noted. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. These women are the theater troupe, and a shadow is leaping into being by them. Let me hold on. It doesn't look threatening right now because there are no enemies visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought those four were the shadows.
Oh!
And then let me show you where the dude died. Hold up. It was right here, and the champion is dead.
Oh.
And the shadow is alive. Okay. So, the professor is first. He goes, "Oh my, this is not good," and is going to attempt to. He's going to shove everything in his bag and start rushing around this way, trying to get towards the bridge. Boris is heading. He now gets to the barge. Thank you, and is like pushing it towards shore. He's going to attempt to, get it into the water and get everything ready. He's like throwing all of his supplies on there. Korami Haru is going to rush towards the barge as well and help. The shadows. Let's see. You see. Let's get some attacks. Yeah, you see one guard be completely devoured as tendrils of shadow reach out towards the guard and strangle him, like popping his neck, and he falls limply to the ground. The other one attacks this dude, and he survives. And the shadow is going to rush towards Felix.
No.
Yes. There is also a canine made of pure shadow leaps into being in front of one of these ruffians and is going to rush towards the professor and try taking a bite.
No.
The professor like grabs it by its shoulders and pushes it off of him, just barely surviving. Felix, it is your turn.
By the way, when combat started, my battle cry has this effect. So, everybody
nice.
within 60 feet of me gets a +4 to their attack roll.
So Felix.
Okay. Have I seen anyone try to hit the shadow creature in front of me before? Or
Nope.
any of the shadow? Okay, cool, great.
Nope.
Okay. So I guess I'm gonna be the first to test this.
Who are you shooting? The one right in front of you. You have disadvantage because you are adjacent.
Oh.
Yeah, that still hits. Yeah. For you blast the bolt into him, and it goes like the shadow opens up around the bolt and then closes. Even though that hit, that did not appear to do any damage.
Okay.
Oh no!
Upon seeing that, I'm gonna shout, "Professor, quick, to the barge!" And I'm just gonna start full.
To the barge!
All right. Drops his crossbow because he's just Italy, I'm so sorry about this.
We're gonna have to put a fucking trigger warning for Italians on this.
Right here.
Yeah, shit.
Running away. Fuck this.
Okay, you get an attack of opportunity.
No. No.
Oh,
no!
14 necrotic damage.
I am extremely squishy.
As
Down?
a tendril
No.
smashes
Okay.
you in the back and like sucks the life out of you. The thing seems to grow stronger as it attacks you. Trigster.
Trigster!
Trigster.
Take care of them!
Okay, so Trig, I guess he'd probably move his hand along like he has a mace and a crossbow at his side, but eventually
Try to
actually
defend.
grabs a book out of his bag and just sort of holds it, turns it to a page with some sigils, and will
Read
cast
furiously.
read furiously, and we'll cast guiding bolts.
Not the book, the mace!
Throws the book
At the one who swung at
Yeah. This bolt of radiant what color of energy?
probably just arcane blue.
Yeah, an arcane blue blasts into this creature, and it like glows for a minute. You see its face like jittering around for a second as it takes quite a bit of damage from that. That was an interesting noise I just
That was
made.
a great sound effect.
Thank you. Okay, anything
And
else?
then-
You have movement and bonus.
don't think I can do anything with bonus, so I will just back away towards the barge and be like, he looks surprised, like he didn't quite expect that to happen.
Okay. Archibald goes, "If you go now, Makari, quick! I will hold them off." Just kidding, head to barge.
No, no, you won't.
Makari, your turn.
Oh, this is conflict. What are these guys?
Which ones?
These guys.
Oh, those are the bandits who cast these shadow creatures.
All right. I run up. Get
The
on
barge is
one
gonna
side.
go, and then he just stays.
Oh, wait. Never mind.
Sorry, you can go. Do whatever
Let
you
me
want.
think. So... I'll take my my hammer off of my side, and there's like a strip of different colored metal like on my right shoulder, and I'll take the hammer and smash it into my shoulder as a rainbow of sparks erupts as I say,
Nice.
"Spirit of wait. Spirit of this river, I call help!" And I will call upon the spirit of the river to heal
nice.
Felix.
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 Felix just gets
Feed.
splashed with water and all of a sudden he doesn't hurt his bed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I will say, the professor. The professor. Oh no.
He looks like
This
such a
is not
dad.
Good.
He's
Guys,
like,
I think
"Hey,
we're gonna
guys,
have to. I think we're gonna have to leave the professor behind.
No, Professor, no.
Is that your turn, Austin?
No, I'm gonna go over here, like using the staff
Like
to
Rick's
kind of
turn.
hobble over, and I will say,
Yeah.
Felix, you can do it, I believe. And I will, I'll use my battlefield presence on him.
What the fuck does that mean?
I'm gonna forego an attack to give him an extra attack on his turn.
Oh.
Oh, nice. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, wonderful.
That is it.
The soldiers are going to attack. Let's get some damage. Slashing at these creatures, they swing right at these creatures, and there's a moment where the swords, these halberds, connect with the creatures, and then they pass right through the shadow. Like there's a moment where it almost causes damage, and then the creatures just snarl. No damage is dealt, and one of them goes, "Oh fuck!" And starts like running past, and this one's going to get an attack of opportunity.
Oh.
He's barely hanging on to life. Okay, next turn is the bandits. While they're focusing on that, Professor's gonna get some light crossbows.
Is a bandit?
No.
Yeah, it's whatever. And then one light crossbow on Felix.
Haha.
What's that? And then another one. Damn. You watch as these two crossbow bolts pin into the professor, and he goes, my research.
Professor, no.
Not the professor!
Drop crossbow.
With his mouth full of pasta.
Mamma mia, professor! Spaghetti falls out of his mouth.
Mom's spaghetti, yeah.
It's the professor, he bleeds the spaghetti!
No.
The
Not the
performers
family marinara!
are going to try to.
Oh my god.
They're going to try to hit this shadow creature, but they can't land a hit.
Oh, he's dead.
Professor is dead. Boris is. He pushes. He kind of looks like Henry Cavill. Pushes the barge into the water and says,
Yeah, I see it.
Makari.
We got Superman on our side, guys. We can't lose.
Look out for Henry.
and is like he's like about to hop in and looks back at you, Makari.
I have an idea.
Kodami says, Makari
What if we
fires a crossbow at one of the bandits.
what if
fucking
we
nailing him.
walk across bridge?
You see a ton of soldiers approaching these shadow creatures from the bridge, like. in a
Okay,
formation.
never mind.
No.
The shadow creatures. One of the performing sisters dies,
Oh,
and
no.
the
Not the
soldiers both take hits, and they're still up though. Oh, too loud. Unholy night. Too unholy. Okay. Shit. Shadow Mastiff is just like rushing towards the women and is going to bite one.
No,
and
not the
just
women.
eat its head off.
Oh.
Holy shit. Felix.
Shout out to the women, I guess.
True equality
Now
is
that
getting
the
crit.
professor has unfortunately passed, Felix is gonna run up next to Trigston, tears in his eyes, and he's gonna fire off at this bandit here.
Okay, you can dash too if you want to.
Um,
Either or, your choice.
Covering fire.
Yeah, covering fire. Let's do covering fire.
Suppressing fire.
Oh,
Wait, did I get? Oh no, wait.
you get another attack because of battlefield
do.
presence.
Oh yeah.
Oh
You are emboldened by Makari's presence. Yeah, that hits for 8 damage. This bandit dies as you peg him right between the eyes.
Good
Yeah.
work, Felix.
Thanks.
I saw that.
Trigston, you peg him right between the eyes.
Nice. Got that pussy.
Trigston.
I guess we're just getting to the bodge.
I hire you. Wait, why did I just
Why
slip
you
into
mean-
Japanese sensei there? I highly recommend.
Oh no!
I'll back up and before I do,
Ohio gozaimasu.
I will literally I will bonk Felix on the head and cast Cure Wounds
Oh.
with my book.
What?
With my book.
That's fine.
Bonking
Oh, I don't
the
have
role
Cure
of
Wounds, never
Shannon
mind.
talking
I'm an
to
idiot.
people.
You don't
I'll
have
just-
The cleric has spoken.
My bad.
Is the Trigster just gonna be the one bonking party members when they get too horny?
Oh, absolutely not.
Hit him with the book.
You're feeling the wrong. You're...
Right,
all right.
bonking in a
So
different
never mind.
direction, if you know
I'll
what I
just
mean.
I'll actually see the success. Here, I'm gonna move back for a second. Make sure. Do this.
No, you
Wait, I
fool!
forgot something.
Back to the barge!
Need to read the book. The writing is so good.
I'll turn just a couple pages in the book and aim for the Shadow Mask this time, since I wasn't expecting the first one to work, and I will pull on the Shadow Mask.
Nice!
The Shadow Mastiff seems to absorb this energy as this bell rings. It grows in size.
You idiot!
The first one worked.
That was
And then I'll-
radiant!
And then I will fuck if I know, and then I'll run to the barge.
Okay, as Makari and Felix, what are you doing on your next turn? Are you moving towards the barge?
Felix is going towards the bar.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
also be going.
So you guys rush, and as you do, Felix and Makari, you both are able to see the professor's body rising up as though like held on a cord by the top of its spinal column. So his neck is just limp, and he's pulled up and hanging like a puppet in the air,
No.
and his eyes flash gray, like or a flash of white towards you guys as
That's
you
not
rush
good.
onto the barge, and Boris heaves the barge into the water.
Yes,
and is
Boris!
like,
Heave! Heave!
And you guys escape the combat as the shadows devour the Adestian troops.
Oish.
Felix is weeping.
This okay, Felix?
said
My
arsonists, these
entire
weren't
family
arsonists.
died as well.
Why did this happen?
I told you, the arsonists.
Those weren't arsonists. I didn't see any fire.
Yeah, there
Oh,
was no fire. Why are you calling them arson?
well, arson doesn't necessarily have to be fire.
That's the definition of the word arson.
Listen here, Felix. I did not hire you into my party for your intelligence. I did it for your dashing good looks.
Oh, well.
Just kidding. It was your intelligence.
Felix sparkles.
Oh.
Oh.
Let's get away from this place.
So wait, was that what was chasing you?
I do not recall. Perhaps. It's kind of hard to see at night.
I can't believe I'm stuck in this situation.
The
with you.
shadows you see, they sometimes look like bird or bat in night sky.
I'm going
Can
to die.
confirm. Look like bat.
Bat,
So this is what has been chasing you.
probably.
I'm not even talking to
Archibald is like
Mikhail.
Archibald shaking his head.
Makari
yes,
anymore,
Karami
okay.
is just
I'm
shaking
looking
his
at-
head, no. Karami's like, no.
Yes, these people, they killed my family, and now they kill me. Well, they try to kill me.
Did not succeed as you
No, never
got his friend.
succeed.
They got his friend.
Yes, that is very unfortunate.
Puppet thing. What,
Oh yes,
that
Well,
familiar?
what was that?
yes, that happens.
What is it?
You get used to it.
The crow, and I pull out a
want to
page.
get used
I
to
turn to a fresh page in my journal and draw that crow real quick.
Oh
What is
yes,
that?
yes.
What is that?
Been chasing us since November.
What the fuck is it?
Oh, I don't know.
Do I recognize it?
Make a history check. Both of you make a history check.
Oh, my history's not that good.
My history's pretty good.
That's kind of why
wait,
I
actually,
need
history.
university.
Oh, but it's who's not.
Oh. That one.
Neither of you.
You-
Wow. For a plus
Maybe
5 and a
I
plus
didn't hire you for your intelligence.
neither of you have seen this before, and neither has Makari nor his retainers.
See, nobody-
So, we sail south again
We need to go further south.
to
Neris is, we need to put pause on Neris for a while. Let God
Yes.
sort out
Neris
Neris.
is silly place.
We travel by land up to Neris from behind. Later. we wait.
Yes. But we definitely come back from behind.
Right, from behind.
Right.
Just like our attack into Novir. From behind.
Always from behind. Don't you worry, companions.
Jill,
You
Jill's
will
already
see
going
our
off.
Novirian assault. All
So
in
how
good
many
time.
recommendation? Karami is just like shaking her head.
Haru,
The CDC does not recommend this amount of horny in one province.
Get
someday
from back.
you will understand my hatred for Novir. They take everything from me, even the sap.
It was
What?
I'll turn back a
What
couple
was that
pages.
last
Read my document.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
He says
Did you
the
say
weirdest.
stack?
He says the weirdest stuff, and we're all just like, yeah, okay, sure.
The Novirian.
I'll turn back a
Novirians
couple
are.
pages and
Yeah.
like
Garbage
crossed off
person.
Nerys on a list, and
You're okay.
say well, the next place I was headed, or may have been headed, would have been Finneberg. There's a
Oh.
library there.
That's the next place we head to.
We follow south to Finneberg. We
Yes.
stop in Southstorm or Overveen for supplies, and then on to Finneberg.
Well, they might not let us into Southstorm. Because, yes, Archibald.
No, high five time.
Oh, yes!
It was good time for high five, no?
No,
Archibald.
we need to work on your timing.
Oh lord.
We go to Aubervine or Albervine. This font on your map, this impossible.
I'll look at Felix. You were from Felderin, right?
Yes, I'm from Desrovan.
Do you know where that Professor Falk? He was with you, right?
Yes, he was until
Well, yeah.
Listen, don't
Those
bring
are
it up.
lost. But
We
did
can't
you
hear
know
you.
does he have family that should be alerted? We could send if we're going to Abervine.
Do I know if he had family?
You do not. He didn't speak about his. Well, he spoke about his personal life. I think. Okay, I guess you would know. He doesn't have any family. He's just one of those like 60-year-old professors who that's all they did their whole life is teach.
I don't know if you should send a letter to them in Abervine.
He didn't mention anything about a family, unfortunately.
One last thing on the docket then.
Did I say it? It's Obervine.
Aubervine, yeah. Like
Aubergine.
Abervine.
Yes.
It's the eggplant city, just perfect
Yeah.
for us.
Aubergine.
The horny emote, but it's a city.
Damn it. You guys.
We always go into Aubergine from
By the
behind.
by the end, fuck you. By the end of the day, you guys pass by Feldarn City, and it's a small town. Felix, you've heard of it before, but you've never visited. And continue on through the Osira River. As you are, you pass the Delavere tributary and continue southward. And at this point, this is a few days later. If you guys want to do anything in that time, let me know. Okay, so
I'll
think
be
about
glad
it for a
I can
second.
think
feel
of-
himself a little bit more.
yeah, this is days later, so you guys can. I'll
I
figure
could,
it out.
I could cure wounds or healing wounds. So.
I'll
Yeah.
be teaching them about how I like. I guess I'll be going over tactics. Like, look, arsonists show up again. This is what you do. When I say attack, you attack. When I say move, you move. You listen to me. We kill every arsonist.
We weren't. I thought I saw Felix land a perfect shot on them. Just went straight through.
I practice every now and then.
It's a good shot.
Yes, well, good work that did for you.
Do you know? I mean, you're the only one with any kind of experience with these things. You know, do we have? What have you fought one? Have you killed one?
Me? No.
Yes, as opposed to.
I run.
mean, so then there's no attacking these things until we understand them better.
One time, my father, he chopped one in half with axe. Family axe. Priceless heirloom.
Magic? Or
Nothing happened. Father died. Don't know if that helps.
a little bit more evidence for the. A little more evidence for the notebook, but that's about it.
Yes. That's why I run. If Father Family Axe cannot cure Shadow creature, nothing can.
Makari is such a bullshitter.
I love it so much. I love everything.
Great.
I was like, Austin really went for charisma despite that playing no part in his class. I wonder how he's
Wow.
gonna play Makari.
Oh man,
I
this
love
is
it.
incredible.
I love Makari. Okay, so yeah, as you guys are passing the Delavere tributary, Archibald says, "We will be in Obervine and Southstorm soon. Next couple of days, we camped on the Feldar side, go into Southstorm for
From
best
behind.
supplies. From behind, or yes, behind. There is a bay there. We pretend to be merchants. Easy peasy.
We are merchants. Merchants of vengeance.
What are you
What have
just
I
seeking?
been to?
And with that, as the sun sets, we're gonna end this session
Thank
0.
God. Save me
Good
from
job.
myself.
Good job, everyone.
Good job.
My
God.
Italian accent, please.
That was so good. I
You
love
all did
watching this.
wonderfully.
Professor!
Professor, no!
Mamma mia!
Oh,
You guys all did so great with your accents. So proud of you. Characters were great. Yay. I'm excited for you guys to meet.
Jill, first session with the Starlight Company.
Jill, good
did
job.
Great.
Welcome.
Sean,
Yeah.
first session with me.
Yeah, Sean, doing great.
Oh yeah.
Except
Yeah, Sean.
for one shots, but still.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Thanks for watching, everyone. That was
Yeah.
session 0 and
Yay.
session other 0 of the Unseen. We're going to
You'll
be
be
playing
seeing
this
Tara soon too. Don't
for
worry.
years. Oh yeah,
I
Tara
will
will
drag her
hopefully be
kicking
here.
and screaming.
She's coming.
Make her watch these episodes.
Yeah.
She will see Makari Mikhailov
Oh
in
no!
action.
She
And
was
Archibald.
she was playing Final Fantasy for a lot of it, but she had the stream on in the background, so she
Okay, cool.
heard
From
your
behind.
Cool, cool, cool.
from she's coming from
From
behind. She's a Mikhailov.
A
There
woman
is-
after my own heart.
From behind. Oh man.
There's going to be
Guys, I'm so
several contenders in this series for From Behind, and we have to make sure we pick the right one when we name a session.
Also,
Oh,
while
yeah,
we're on
true.
the stream, we're going. I also forgot to say this in announcements, but for this campaign, I'm going to be good about doing separate videos for when we level up. So this is when we're going to end the video for session 0. Thank you for watching, everyone.
Ba-dum-bum.
Bye. Don't stop
Bye.
streaming, Austin.
I know, I'm gonna
Bye.
switch it to the ending
Next week,
screen
session
and
one.
then
Next week,
Next
episode
week,
1.
session
We're
1.
gonna keep
Tune in.
same time, same place, same stream, same people, plus Tara. Bye, everybody.